welcome to Ann Arbor, Michigan and the Chrysler Center, where today women's college gymnastics takes center stage with number 15 Michigan hosting number 2 UCLA. Big smiles, big performances expected today on the Big Ten Network. Take a look at the standings, and you see UCLA at 5-0, Michigan right there in the mix as they always are at 4-1. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dean Linke with the 4-time Big Ten champion from Michigan, Olivia Karras. The fight song's going. Here we go. Michigan and UCLA.
What an exciting competition here in Ann Arbor. Both teams have looked great this season, slowly climbing. So this could be a great competition for both of them to really put together a good meet.
Big time talent. So we say, you go, Olivia Karras.
Let's start with that girl, Jordan Childs. You can't talk about UCLA without Jordan Childs taking a year off to compete for Team USA in Paris. She did not miss a beat coming back into college with a perfect 10 on floor and bars. Such a fun competitor across the board. Brooklyn Moores has had a remarkable career, but this year has been the one for her. Head coach Janelle McDonald says she's so impressed with Brooklyn's progress, especially on the 3 events she's competing on. But it isn't only upperclassmen. The young Mika Webster longing for the Bruins, fiery freshman competing on 3 events, spectacular on uneven bars, and really trying to solidify herself in these difficult Bruin lineups. You're used to seeing her in the all-around, but 5th year Shay Campbell will only be competing on bars and beam this evening as she is resting her lower legs. It's only mid-season. There's a lot to go, but make sure you keep your eyes on her on those events. The Bruins have a lot of talent, but let's talk Wolverines. They are not shy of talent, and it starts with Carly Bauman, the 5th-year senior, 9.975 career high on beam, only improving in her last year as a collegiate gymnast. But speaking of improving, the sophomore Kaylee Boozer, head coach Bev Plocky, told me she's never seen an athlete turn the page quite like Kaylee Boozer. She's come out her sophomore year, 9.95 on beam, 9.9 career high on floor, and she's looking to add in more events to vie for the all-around. But it isn't just those two. The fantastic freshman from Sofia Diaz, she came in hot, ready to help these Wolverines. 9.9 on the 3 events she competes, vault, bars, and floor. Keep your eyes out as she's trying to make her way into the beam lineup to vie for an all-around title.
Great job, Olivia, and we'll take a look at the coaches. Janelle McDonald in her 3rd season talked about how coaching this team is very much like feeling the Hollywood style. That's why she keeps the team so close. And then Bev Plocky, a true legend, 36th season, 992 wins, including the 2021 National Championship. Let's take a look at how all these 2 teams do in the 4 rotations. As we got a great crowd here at Chrysler.
Love here to see UCLA start off on bars in that 5th spot nationally. The Wolverines, their weakest event, head coach Bev Plocky says that vault is the biggest opportunity for the Wolverines, 18th nationally, but has the talent in this squad to put together a great vault lineup today. I actually had the pleasure of watching them yesterday in practice and was incredibly impressed by what I was seeing in these vaults. In the air, they're beautiful, they're dynamic, they just need to find that landing, and if they can today, it will be an excellent start to their competition.
What a crowd at Chrysler, as it is just about sold out, and you can feel the energy. It's electric in here. Of course, the Michigan Wolverines will start on the vault. Well, they're 18th in the country. They're led by Ava Jordan, the sophomore. Her career high, season high, and her last week's score, 9.875 for Ava Jordan.
I saw Ava perform a few spectacular Yurchenko fulls yesterday in practice. Starts with a 9.95 and the smallest hop backwards, so not a stuck landing. She has done a couple of those that were excellent, but a very clean and well done leadoff for the sophomore. See a nice angle there, big flare on the arms and just a hop backward, very minimal. The judges will likely take a 0.5 deduction for that hop backwards, but great way to lead things off for the Wolverines.
Shay Campbell, as you just heard Olivia Karras say, only competing in 2 events, but that includes the bars where Her career high and season high is a 9.95. Last week, a 9.875 for Shea.
Shea is the perfect leadoff competitor for the Bruins. Incredibly solid, lovely first handstand. Good job on her first release move. A Maloney to a bail handstand. Excellent position. Hitting that perpendicular positioning and nice last handstand. As she gears up for her dismount. A front tuck, double front. Wow. To a stuck landing for Shea Campbell. That is how you get things started on bars. Beautiful tight body position there on the bail handstand. And then caps it off with a spectacular Bruins stick to lead things off. Head coach Janelle McDonald is already getting her heart rate up with that stuck routine.
Great job. A lot of youngsters for Michigan. Jordan in with a 9.825. Now Peyton Davis, career high, season high, 9.8. Last week a 9.775.
Peyton has really made excellent progress so far in her collegiate career. She, like Ava, performs a Yurchenko full. Step backward on the landing, so the judges will deduct likely a 10th for that. That was a rather sizable step on the landing, but beautiful body position. She has excellent execution in the air. Little leg separation there in the pre-flight, but you see a nice view of the height off the table. Doesn't quite get the arm flare as her teammate Ava Jordan did in the first spot, but a solid vault for the Wolverines.
Mika Webster Longen will be next for UCLA, who, reminding you, you saw that graphic, they're 5th in the country. Here's the freshman with a 9.9 career high, season high last week, a 9.875.
Mika is so impressive. Incredibly clean athlete, excellent transition there. Maloney to Pack Salto and a well done half turn. Slightly shy there on the handstand. The judges will deduct for that. And a hop forward on the landing. I saw her hop backward in the warm-up, so she was likely overcompensating a bit on the landing. But in connection to the clear hip is incredibly difficult. And there's that hop forward, so she'll receive a deduction both for the hop and the under rotation. But a solid start for the fantastic freshman.
How about Peyton Davis with a new career high, 9.825, as we get ready for Miss Ranger, 9.85 career and season high, as we start with a couple freshmen and a sophomore at the front of the lineup for Bev Blocky.
Jazara Ranger is so talented, incredible speed and power on this event. If she can rein in the landing, it will be big. And a big step forward. She just can't seem to find the sweet spot for landing that with minimal deductions. Here's a great view of exactly what the judges are seeing. Nice position on the table, block off, a little leg separation. You see there, her chest just came forward on the landing, which resulted in the over rotation and the step forward. But incredible potential in this young and talented athlete.
Solid start to this one as we go to Emma Malabuyo, who is from California. She's a senior. Jazara, by the way, tying her career and season high with a 9.85.
Nice first handstand for Emma. Directly into her Maloney to Pack Salto connection. Well done. Good fight on the half turn. Slight dip in her body position. The judges are looking for a perfect tight body. They will deduct for that. But there is a stuck landing for the Bruins. Another connection dismount toe handstand to half in, half out for Emma Malabuyo. Always so impressed with her as a bar worker. Great shot there of that handstand perfectly on top of the bar. You see the line showing you that's what the judges are looking for a zero deduction handstand. And nothing better than sticking a dismount. Well done maintaining tightness in her core, so she did not have to take a step back.
Jenna Mulligan, as you see the score for Ranger. Jenna Mulligan, career high, season high, and last week's score, all .99.
I've been incredibly impressed with Jenna watching her in practice yesterday. She was really dialing in on this landing. A few minimal steps forward, minimal steps backward in her practice. So I'm excited to see how she can dial in a competition setting. Another Yurchenko, 1.5, and there's that stuck landing. I knew she had it in her. I saw her really work on that in the gym yesterday. In warm-ups, in both the touch and the warm-up earlier, she was really being intentional about where her chest position was on the landing, right there on top of her body. You see the leg separation off the table, so while it is a stuck fall, it will not be perfect given the leg separation and the slightest bend in her knees, but incredibly impressive for the graduate student in her final year, putting it together and at home in a big moment.
So Jenna Mulligan with a career high, and then earlier Emma Malabuyo with a career high. Here comes Macy McGowan, who comes in at a 9.875 career and season high.
Macy is incredibly talented. I saw her miss this release move in warm-up. Not here. Well done on the connection. Directly down to the low bar. Great handstand on the high bar. She gears up for her dismount. A double layout to a stuck landing. The Bruins have glue on their feet over on uneven bars. Well done by Macy McGowan. It is so much fun to watch her thrive. The position in the air on that double layout, legs glued together, perfectly straight, pointed toes. The team goes nuts for that moment for Macy.
Move back to Michigan. Sophia Diaz, who you focused on in the Open, has scored a 9.9 or better on 5 occasions, including 1 vault and 2 uneven bars routines. From Clarksville, Maryland, another youngster where the future is bright for Michigan.
Sophia drilled one of these vaults in warm-up. She will also compete a Yurchenko 1.5, 10-0 start value vault. Now hop forward, so couldn't quite find the landing like her teammate before her, but the distance from the table is excellent. The height is beautiful. Position in the air is so immaculate. Take a look here. It's a great view from the side. Beautiful job. The littlest pike in her body position there as she gears toward the landing on the last half turn, which results in that hop forward. You notice her head tucks down just a little bit, but what a career she's had so far. And as you said, Dean, the future is certainly bright for this young lady as well as for the Wolverines.
She had to follow Mulligan, who has a new career high of 9.95. Frida Esparza with a 9.975, her career high, season high, and you guessed it, that was her score last week.
Not only did she get a near perfect score, she also performed the national anthem on her electric guitar. Talk about an incredibly talented woman.
You see the national ranks, and Frida third in the nation. Jordan Childs also up there.
Stunning first handstand from Frida. Check this out. It's called a Bahardwaj, a pack salto with a full twist. So difficult. A beautiful Van Leeuwen directly back up to the high bar. Oh no. And over on that handstand, which resulted in her having to swing and add a skill. But a stuck landing. Now that is a veteran move. She certainly could have hopped off the bar and counted a fall. Now the judges know that wasn't meant to happen, but she did a great job covering it up. You see here, it looks like her shoulders were just over, really trying to hold the position. You see those legs just over that perfect perpendicular position, which resulted in the half turn and a swing half. I can't tell you how difficult it is to break rhythm in your bar routine, but to come back and stick that dismount after a miss is quite impressive.
So they talk it over as the anchor for Michigan, the junior Paige Thaxton with a 9.825 career high and season high. Michigan off to the kind of start that Bet Blocky wanted.
This is a big moment for Paige, repeating a Yurchenko 1.5. A very large hop forward. I was really excited about this vault for Paige. She did so well in practice yesterday, performed a few excellent ones in warm-up and just had a little too much adrenaline. You see that pike position there in the twist and two pretty large hops forward, which the judges will deduct for, but it's really nice to see her at that difficulty.
Here she is, Jordan Childs, part of the gold medal Olympic team. And part of the reason why Coach McDonald talked about the fact that there is that Hollywood effect. It's like the Lakers arriving into a different city as well by adding Childs. You see her tied for 23rd in the nation on the bars.
Jordan received the first perfect 10 on uneven bars this season when the Bruins competed in Maryland. Big combination right off the bat here. A lovely handstand, such patience. Oh no. Just couldn't grab the bar there on her pike to Tkachev. She's supposed to do that skill in connection to a pack salto to go back down to the low bar. So thankfully, the Bruins before her hit, we talked about that big moment previously from Frida Esparza staying on the bar is critical. So this is the score the Bruins are going to want to drop. Over there on the handstand half turn. Definitely difficult to get back up on the apparatus after a fall that messed with the rhythm. Just the dismount here, double layout to a large hop backwards. Certainly not the routine that Jordan or the Bruins wanted, but again, 5 hits before her meant that this did not have to count. See here, goes for that first release move and just couldn't quite get her hands fully over the bar. Comes back with a beautiful double layout dismount, a newer dismount for her in competition. You can see her face. She's certainly not happy about that, but I have no doubt in my mind she will come back on the next 3 events and show us how it's done.
That fall coming after what was a perfect handstand to start that routine. Sydney Barros. There'll be no exhibition for Michigan on the vault, with Coach McDonald talking to Sydney, who is somebody that has really been pushing her team in practice, which is a good thing.
It's exactly what you want from these athletes who are trying to make their way into these lineups. You want them to push the athletes who are consistently in those top 6 spots, and Sydney is that athlete.
Childs with a 9.15 after that fall.
Head coach Janelle McDonald said that Sydney Barros has a lot of fire in the gym. She's working really hard. She's made it very clear. She's been really vocal about wanting to be in the lineup. So coming after a fall from Jordan Childs, this is a big moment for her.
Sophomore from Louisville, Texas.
Good job bringing it back after that first handstand. She was a little over. Nice connection. Maloney to pack salto. Over on that handstand half turn. Oh, and it looks like her hand just slipped. Very unusual, but you can see she's kind of smiling, so thankfully nothing bad happened. She continues this routine. Just the dismount, double layout, and a hop backward. Definitely a confidence-building moment for Sydney. And you see head coach Janelle McDonald laughing. Such an uncharacteristic and unusual mistake, but well done to her for getting back up after the fall and bringing it home.
Barely a seat open at Chrysler Center as that ends the first rotation. UCLA with a really slim lead, 49.325. Michigan, 49.3. Rotation 2 when we return.